Hi, how is everyone? Yes, my daughter's back again.
Hey, everyone.
She's been here for a couple of days. My other daughter had to go earlier because she had to go back to work. Her schedule wouldn't allow her to stay any longer. And of course, we didn't get to do a video with her again. So this is my daughter, Wendy.
Hey.
And today is New Year's Eve.
Yep, New Year's Eve.
2020. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Not really.
No, you're not really excited. I am. Of course, you know we're in the new Aquarian age, and things are going to really start getting revved up now. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen and how this is all going to transpire. Mm-hmm. Did you want to talk about Chris Gio? We were watching something that he did today on his, what was the channel called?
It's Beyond the Veil, and he was talking about portals. Well, a specific portal, but he was talking about how he thinks he closed it and all this. So we want to talk about that.
Yeah. So I just did a quick remote view to see what's going on. I know all about portals. There are portals in our snow globe everywhere. Let me start by saying that any portal that gets caught on film or camera or whatever, I think this one was caught on the SSI, whatever, instrument, whatever. Portals are constantly opening and closing here. You can even open portals if you have the correct frequency. What happens, the way portals are designed, that if you don't have the frequency, then you can create that frequency through a mechanism and open a portal. But if you inside can change your frequency, you can walk through any portal and you'll be either on the bigger earth in a different area or even in a different dimension here. Or you can go through a portal that goes to a different dimension. I mean, there's all different kind of portals. Mm-hmm. But opening and sealing them, no, they're naturally formed. I'm going to say naturally formed by thought and intent. They're put there and then they're stabilized. But closing portals permanently, I don't know if you can, because I guess you could if you wanted to, but there's a lot of them. That's why I left a little comment stating that there are many portals. Please start researching when people are walking and the next thing you know, you look behind you or you turn around and they're just gone. It's because they've walked through a portal. These portals are on a different frequency, which means our eyes have such a limited span of space to see through. Like, our spectrum is tiny. If you could open your third eye, you would actually be able to see these portals, which most of us can't because we're not there.
Well, if you actually raise your vibration, you can be in this space, but also in another dimension as well. It's no different than if you were going to walk around in a higher vibration and then you turn around and see a gnome or fairies or something like this as well. Sasquatch, they can go into this dimension and also in a higher dimension. You can also get to that dimension. In a way, portals work the same way. Mm-hmm. It's just different frequencies.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. But he thought that was the only portal, and I was like, I got a little amused. I mean, I really like watching his channel, but I get a little amused because some of the stuff is, he's doing the best that he can do. I'm sure if he saw that, he'd be angry, but oh, well, I just hope he would understand that he was a big enough man to understand that we don't all have the answers. These are little puzzle pieces, and all we're trying to do is gather as much as we can. I can only do what I can do. When I remote view, and you remote view too, we can either hone in on it like a pinpoint or get the broader picture. And we're not always right because sometimes we're missing a bit of it.
Plus, there's so much going on. It's more than one scenario. There's multiple scenarios, and it's really also on an individual basis. It depends on yourself, your belief system, everything, because it always is up here. It's thought. Thought is everything. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. The only way you're going to exceed out of this is if you're really ready to exceed out of this.
Yeah, you have to be opened, and
which we could talk about the Archon then if you want, because that's got a lot
We should also
to do
mention that the 4D and the 5D, the 4D is a playing field. It's a mental construct, but the 5D is opening your heart inside. And what I mean by opening your heart is opening up your abilities through your DNA. It's inward activations. And then there's many Ds after that.
Yeah, because everything's already within us. We were created with everything. We are source. So that says a lot. That says, even though we are here now, we can ascend to the highest. We are already there. It's just, you have to believe that you are there. I mean, it's like I said, it's a lot that goes in with it, because if you're not mentally there, then you're not going to have these things happen unless you're ready and you know you can do this. Plus your frequency, you have to be open to do these things. If you're closed down, you will not get anything.
I poured us tea because I'm dying of thirst today. Wendy says, the house is too cold, Mom. I'm like, but I can't handle the heat. I run so hot, it's ridiculous. I could break a sweat in the dead of winter just by doing nothing. Really, the moment I start get going, I'm through the roof. My energy's so hot and whatever. I'm on fire constantly. It's horrible. I've always been like this. Don't think it's menopause. That stuff's way behind me already. Now it's not that. I've always been like that. And poor Wendy, she's always freezing to death. So is Cassie. Mom, the house is too cold. I'm like, oh, please don't make it too hot. It's awful. It's awful. But would you like to talk about the Archon?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Maybe you should break down what the Archon actually is.
He is basically an energy being, just like all of us, except he's a very dark energy being. He's cut from source, so he doesn't have the love. He only has, how would you explain that, darkness?
Negativity.
Negativity.
Low vibration.
This is one reason why this existence is so hard, because we are inside of him, literally inside of him. This is why you can manifest, because you're still an individual being, but he also creates everything in here as well. He can create. No matter what anyone says, he can create. If he couldn't, we wouldn't be here.
Oh, well, he is source too.
Right.
But he's just not...
He's just not connected to source.
Yeah. So I will say this, and I've said this in other videos. We are tethered to source. We get our energy from source. Of course, in this reality, we get our energy from eating food. But still, we get our energy from source. And the Archon, he gives back to source, but he doesn't receive anything. It's not reciprocal. So he's using us as a food source, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Where we don't need to have anybody as a food source because we are tethered to source. He is tethered, but only one way. And it's not reciprocal. It's not reciprocal. And he was created to make negativity, all for a new experience. I don't like it.
Yes.
I'm not going to say yes.
Really, it's
that.
all because of source. He was created.
Yes, absolutely. He came out of source like we did.
Yep. And you can't destroy him.
No, you can't destroy
because you can't destroy energy. Exactly. The only thing you could do is try and raise his vibration.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you need to try and also raise yours first before trying to tackle these other things.
Yeah. The first thing is you're going to have to square up with yourself. You have to get yourself in working order, which means you need to get rid of the negativity. You need to get rid of the fear. And the fear is the big one, because that gives you the anxiety and that gives you all the other things. And that's what this Archon is feeding off of, that low vibrational energy. And he's constantly throwing stuff at us so he can feed.
And this is why it's happening.
Let me look at him. You can just keep talking.
Unfortunately, you cannot stay in a high vibration while he's there throwing everything he can at you. I mean, I'm sure you wonder, why is this happening to me all the time? Why is this happening? I don't want it to happen. It's because, unfortunately, it wasn't your choice. He's doing these things because we are still trapped in him regardless. The only thing we can do is get through it. We have to say no more. We're going to make our reality. Don't let him create yours for you.
Yeah. So I will say that Wendy and I were talking about the Archon this morning, and we discovered a few things, and it's like,
Yes.
a long time ago, we saw that he had many boxes, and then you can go from there where the boxes are. And
Basically, we're inside of him, inside of the box he created. So at one time, he only had one box, and he was collecting us. It was basically a trap. We didn't know what we were getting into. So he started creating more and more and more boxes to trap more and more and more entities for more and more food. So I don't know. We got to do something to stop it.
yeah,
We have to. He's literally draining us. We aren't fully who we are because of him. Even though we are here, we are not all one. We are not one with ourselves, is how I should say it, I guess, because our consciousness is trapped somewhere else. We have very small consciousness. This is another reason why we don't remember anything. And when you do, it's very fragmented on our memories from past lives or anything, even source, knowing that we were created there and everything. Do you remember any of this?
you remember being outside of this,
Exactly.
where you truly came from, the voice.
Yes. And that's when you go within and you try to remember, because that's what I've done. And I remember source, and I remember the love of source. It was surrounding you, and it was very warm.
Tiger.
So you've got to go within to also remember everything. And you might not get everything you want to know, but pieces are pieces. Anything matters at this point. And on top of it, it's going to be up to you to believe in what you see. You're giving it to yourself. So,
Yeah. And I was going to say these boxes are inside of the Archon.
Yes.
They're it's not like there's a box over there. No, the boxes are him. He's constructing the boxes out of his own material of himself and then housing us basically to feed off of us, basically. I mean, there's no other reason to have us, to trick us into this ridiculous. We were at one point the same size as the Archon, each and every one of us.
I was just going to bring that up so
Yeah.
I didn't tell him about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. But what happened was he diminished us and put us inside of him, these boxes. And how he diminished us was he immediately started feeding off of us, which we are energy. And so our energy is going down like this. He's keeping us at an all-time low energetic state. So instead of being our full energy, we're like minuscule, and we're still powerful, but he's keeping us drained. So we can't escape. The entire reincarnation scheme, the whole of reality that has been created in this archonic box, is all to keep you involved in something so you don't discover and wake up that, oh my God, I'm in a trap, I'm being fed on, and try to escape. So all of this mental stuff is being done to keep you preoccupied so you don't get out.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's like with every life, with every past regression. We were watching what was her name? Albert Weinman.
Yes.
You knew about her, but I just discovered her again. Because Winnie had told me about her a long time ago, and I just kind of never really went there. I was doing other things. And then, of course, I rediscovered and started watching, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And it seems like this thing, this Archon does, it's huge. It doesn't just envelop this 3D reality, it envelops the whole of all realities. So when you pass away and you're being put into other realms and other realities, it's still inside the Archon box. And it's like, oh, does anybody even know this stuff? It's all to keep you focusing on this instead of the bigger picture. You are food and trapped.
Yes. And another thing, regardless of what anybody says, because a lot of stuff is going around, whether it's real, fake, it doesn't matter. When you die, do not let anybody or anything tell you what you need to do. You do what you want to do, regardless. If you feel like you're ready to leave, then you need to go into that mindset and tell yourself, or tell anybody trying to tell you what to do, no, I'm not putting up with this, I'm out, I'm gone. Even if there is no reincarnation scheme anymore, basically the reincarnation scheme is a light. As soon as you die, it starts to suck you in, and it goes and reincarnates you back into this life or possibly even another life. And you could be anything at this point. A person, an animal, an insect. It doesn't matter. So literally, you need to stop and think. And if that light starts to suck you in, you need to say no. You fight it. Do everything in your power to fight it, because you will be reincarnated at this point. This needs to end. In my opinion, this needs to end. And yes, there's good things here, but at the same time, there's so much bad that nobody should be having to experience this ever. In my opinion, negativity is something that should have never even existed. So
I will have a lot of people saying, we need negativity to learn and grow. But what happens if you were the perfect being to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
And this was only because of wanting to experience. And at that point, where do you draw the line and say, okay, we've gone too far? It's more than how many times do you need to be tortured to death? How many times do you need to be going through anxiety? When is enough enough? Mm-hmm. When do you say, I've had enough of this, I'm out?
When do you say, I should have never experienced the negativity to begin with, especially in this?
Since you were tricked in here to begin with.
Exactly.
Because the agenda was you are food. Mm-hmm. So the big perpetuating lie is you needed to have this done to you. Oh, and really?
It's so wrong. It's ridiculous. It's so wrong.
Yeah. I have a big problem when somebody's using negativity as a tool for you to further your being. You do not need to have negativity to grow.
Actually, the negativity is what keeps you from growing. It keeps you down.
It does. It retards you. It's like once abused and will abuse. And then the cycle gets worse and worse. Still, we're the point where we are now.
Exactly.
People are beating babies to death and beating children to death and torturing them and drinking their blood for that adrenochrome. And tell me where the progress is is. Where's the progress? Where's the progress in that?
Right.
This whole money system is ridiculous. Because we are so worn down and we have all these abilities of manifesting, and they've done everything they can to take that away from us. That's a form of control, absolutely. And punishment. You'll do what I want or I'll punish you. I'll punish you by making you homeless. I'll punish you by taking your food source away. I'll punish you in 10,000 different ways because you won't do my bidding. Mm-hmm. There you go. Where's the positivity in that? Where is it? There is none. There's absolutely none. Mm-hmm. Taking our abilities away from us was just negativity's way of raining all over us.
Basically, yeah.
There's no point in it.
Do you believe you created this negativity?
I know I didn't.
I know I didn't either.
I was drawn into this crap.
Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing. He trapped us. There was nothing. We might have created all of this, but we didn't create the evil that came with it.
No, because every single one of you beings out there came in as a pure, loving soul. Mm-hmm. And when someone says, I don't want to know about love and light, no, well, that's where you actually came from. And light means enlightenment. Mm-hmm. At one point, we were very enlightened, but we have been so diminished. It's ridiculous. Oh, boy, what a heavy subject for New Year's.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe we should talk about something lighter. I don't know.
Well, the main reason we're saying all of this is because we are coming to a new age, the Aquarian age, and it's time for everybody to wake up. I mean, you can't keep bringing yourself down and staying in this trap. If you really want to progress, it's time to know everything that you can. Knowledge is power, okay? And you need to know everything if you want to get out of this. So, and unfortunately, it's very harsh. It really is. But that's the reality we are living in. It's time to raise it up. It's time to leave this place if you really want to go.
Yeah. Because I'm not coming back to this. No, thanks. I want out of this archonic box and go into the void, which the void is all loving because it's source. It's actually source. You do not lose your individuality. You will keep that for eternity. That was given to you. You are now an individual. No one's going to come and say, you're not an individual anymore. That's also a perpetuated lie. You will never lose your individuality because you are now source yourself. And you have always been from the day you were created. You're a source. And source doesn't go back to source.
Mm-mm.
Source reciprocates with source, but source doesn't go back into source. No, we don't do that.
Exactly.
That's another perpetuated big lie. We're all going to go back to God. Yeah? No. I mean, I've made this analogy before. It's like,
Coach.
yeah, it's like I had these children, and now the children had their lives, and they're going to come back into me. No, they're not.
No.
No, they're not.
No.
You are going to learn, discover, and grow, and you are going to create. That is what you will do. You'll be the creator being that you have always been. And that's what you'll do. You'll create. So that's why I want to go back to the void, because in the void it is, you can do absolutely anything and everything. You are not controlled, you are not monitored, and there's no negativity.
Exactly.
Only this Archon is the negativity, and once you're out of that, there is nothing you can't do.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go on that.
Yeah,
I will be working diligently to get out of this archonic box. So when my shell is over with, I will be working diligently to get out of this. And I'm not leaving alone, I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
I came into this archonic box to begin with because I wanted to be around other energy beings. I had an overwhelming love to be with other energy beings. That's how he got me in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for someone. But I tell you what, now that I know where all the energy beings are that he's collected, there's nothing I won't do to get them out too. I will tell you this, the thing we were talking about, how to get out.
Oh, yeah.
You need to talk about that.
No, go ahead. You talk about it.
Okay. I'm taking over again. This is horrible. I don't want to be taking over. We were talking earlier, and we were like, how are we going to get out of this Archon? We need to get out of this Archon. And I said, well, we were the same size at one point, and he diminished us. Mm-hmm. And I said, but we have to fix ourselves inside first. Because once we do, and fear no longer reigns in here, and once fear is gone, he loses. When you have completely wiped out fear, you can regrow yourself because your energy. And at that point, you get big and big and big, and he cannot contain you any longer. And you will just, for better words, pop out of him. Mm-hmm. And the thing of it is, that's the truth about it. The only way out is we need to regrow our energy. And the first thing we have to get rid of is any negative. And what I mean by any negative, I'm talking about anything that's fear-based, because it is a low vibration.
Yes.
Yep. And then we regrow our energy, and he simply can't hold us anymore. He won't be able to contain us. It's as if we're growing back to our own size, and he is our size, and he simply can't contain us. Mm-hmm. The only way he keeps us in here is he keeps us on such a low vibration. He's got us drained, and we've diminished to petri dish size. Mm-hmm. And so that's why all the negativity, and why we have to keep you down, because this is a huge thing that doesn't need to be getting out. As far as the Archon goes, he does not want anyone to know this is the way out.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's within yourself.
Because once you're gone, how is he existing? He's not.
No. Source needs to reabsorb him. And what I mean by reabsorb him is wipe his negativity out of him and reconnect him. Mm-hmm. Because once he no longer needs us as a food source, and he's reconnected to source, this ends anyway. Mm-hmm. I mean, this was done as an experience, and I think it's over now. It's time to go. Yes. Wendy's like, well, why is it taking so long for source to do something about it? And I said, well, let me give you an example. You want to talk about it?
No, go ahead.
I said, Wendy, it's like this. Say source is eating a sandwich, and a part of the sandwich fell on the floor, and he's looking down going, ooh, I dropped my piece of my sandwich. I got to pick that up. In the time it takes him to pick that sandwich up off the floor, which is us, eons of time where we are have passed, because we're in the 3D. So time passes that differently. For source, it's a moment. For us, it's an eternity. Mm-hmm. So we're the sandwich that's been dropped because the Archon has taken us over. Mm-hmm. And source is coming back, but the time difference is crazy.
Yeah, because really there's no such thing as time and space.
Mm-hmm.
So
everything's in the now.
Yeah,
everything is in the now.
Mm-hmm.
And since the now is everywhere, and every moment is the now, mm-hmm. you're only experiencing a point in the now. Mm-hmm. Through each moment is a point in the now. Since we're in this 3D construct right now, at least our thought is, which gives us the physicality, which we deem physicality because we can, Yeah, so everything is in the now, and the now is everywhere. There's no past, there's no future. It's all happening now. And this is how you can see in the past and see in the future, because there really is no such thing. It's all there.
Just like how I said earlier, it's no different than when you take a certain path. For me, I remember after, sometimes before, sometimes after, I guess it just depends on myself. Depending on the path I took, I know the other paths I could have taken. It's as if I've taken them, but I didn't. And I've chosen that certain path. Now, I'm not saying it's a good way or a bad way. It's just different scenarios, different things, different paths to take. So it's very weird for me because it really discombobulates me, because it's like, did I do this, or did I do it this way, or did I do it this way? Because sometimes there's many different paths of the same choice that you can take. And I remember just about all of them. So it's like, okay, maybe I should have done it this way, or, well, I'm glad I did it this way. This seemed like the better way to do it, you know. But it's very hard when you've got all of that up here and you see it as if you've done it, as if you've played it out, even though you've only done it once.
Yeah, because
It's crazy.
every given scenario has already transpired in every given situation. It's mind-boggling.
It is. And all the scenarios, though, it's insane how many different ways it can go. I mean, really, it is.
Interesting, though.
It is.
It's like, ooh, I'm glad I didn't do that again.
Yeah. Most of the time it's like, but then you wonder, why would you remember that specific scenario? It must have been important for some reason, because maybe that way it can change your life depending on which path you go. It'll change, you know? So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, this is a big year. Wendy turns 30 this year.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
She turns 30.
I forgot. I'm going to be 30.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
Jesus.
I know this is a big monumental year for you. It's the big 3-0.
Wow. Hopefully I don't look it, though.
No. I turned 55.
Yeah, I know.
55!
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to believe. I remember when I was 16. I can't believe I'm going to be 55. I can remember when you were a baby. Can't believe you're 30. You're going to be 30.
I'm going to tell you, time's been flying, too, lately. It's speeding up so much, and I think it's because people are finally waking up.
Yeah. The more people that wake up to the precipice point, plus it was the Aquarian age.
Right.
It changed the time dilation thing. So if you take, we had talked about this.
Yeah, it's been a while.
When we took an analog clock and we took a digital one.
Yes.
They don't keep the same time.
No.
I'm not talking about one that's made today. I'm talking one from like 30 years ago.
And that's the thing. I had did a calculation on it, and we had figured exactly how much time we were losing, and it was a lot of time. I mean, it was like, what, an hour, a couple hours a day we were losing from a couple years ago when it started. So I don't know. I'm sure it's speeding up even more. It feels like it is.
Yeah. We have our internal clocks too, where it's still based, if you weren't born at a certain point, it's still based in the old reality. And that's why you're like, what time is it? Where did the day go? Because your chronological clock inside is not ticking to the new chronological clock. I don't know how else to say that.
Yeah.
So interesting. And, yeah. Oh, you know what? I need to say this on here. Campbell, I will be chatting with you. I don't know if you've gotten my messages or not, but I would love to sit and chat with you and talk to you. I would actually love to do a live with you or something too.
I've been trying to convince her to do lives, but she doesn't really know
Campbell
how.
from
She's never done it
Autodidactic.
before. Yeah. And I'm sure, I definitely think you need to
I will say hi to Martin Lika. Oh, I just love his channel. John Levi. I used to call him John Levy, but it's John Levi. I found all these people and I'm like, wow, I had no idea they were out there. I'm just impressed with all of them. They're so awake and they're waking up every day.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to do lives with all of them. looking into things.
Everyone needs to know what's going on. And yes, it's not, if you're not curious, you're never going to proceed. You're never going to get anywhere.
You have to be willing to let go of your old concepts and belief and literally scratch everything and say, okay, let's start off from ground zero. I know nothing. Let's re-educate.
Yeah. Yeah, because where have you learned everything you've learned from the cabal? From our governments? I mean, you can't go off of them.
What are they, the Phoenicians?
Yeah. You can't go off of them. Mm-hmm. They're the worst of the worst.
Well, they know.
Well, yeah. Just saying.
I don't know. Do you watch those channels? Mm-hmm. Do you watch them?
I watch them every now and again, yeah.
Oh, okay. I bet they'll look into that.
I watch a lot of different channels. A lot of different channels. Just because I want to know everything.
Not only that, you can
whether
look
I
into it,
or not.
And then you can look into it with remote viewing and see how close they are on target.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised what kind of stuff comes through when I do hear certain things. I mean,
I don't know if you saw this one, but Campbell was talking about Friesland, and I saw that Friesland was everywhere. It wasn't just, I mean, yes, there was a place that they used to refer to as Friesland, but that's like saying there was only Americans in America. Mm-hmm. No, they're everywhere. They were all over the whole entire snow globe, and they're outside of the snow globe too.
Oh,
okay, so inside of our snow globe, there's the area that we are aware of, but there's more area inside of our snow globe that we're not even allowed to know about. And then outside of that, there's the bigger Earth.
Oh, yeah.
And so these portals can get us in and out of these, out of this snow globe into the bigger Earth or what have you. Mm-hmm. We can't get through the Van Allen belt for a reason, because it's some kind of dome. So when Admiral Byrd was going past the North Pole or what have you, he was only going to what's still inside of our snow globe, which I guess most people don't realize
all
that.
The extra land that's still here.
That's still here that we're not allowed to know about. Yep. Because there is more inside of our snow globe, but even our little snow globe is but a bleep on the bigger reality.
And I hate to say it, but the reason they tell you we're in a round ball is because there is nowhere to go. Do you know what I mean?
Well, what a better way to stop you from exploring by telling you that you're on a planet.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're flat,
you have nowhere to go.
You could go anywhere. How far does it go before it ends?
Mm-hmm. So, well, the thing with the flat earthers are, we are in this crater-like thing.
Oh, yeah.
With the toroidal field around us, and like a terrarium. Mm-hmm. And of course, it's not going to have anything in here. It is going to be flat. But overall, through the entire bigger Earth, there is a curve. It's kind of shaped like an eyeball. It's really weird. Mm-hmm. But it sets inside of a huge cosmic egg. Martin Kenny was talking about the cosmic egg, and he's right. There is a cosmic egg. It's a huge toroidal field over all of it. Mm-hmm. But then there's inside of it, there's a bunch of stuff inside of it too, where it's like us, little domed areas, little snow globes. Mm-hmm. So it's like this, and then that, and then that, and then that. And then outside of all of it is space is water, if you want to call it space.
Yeah, basically.
But remember, all of this is inside the Archon. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. It'll blow your mind. Because we have such a 3D perception because all of our pineal gland and our pituitary gland have been so shut down, and then our heart and our head have been so disconnected that it puts us in a very small, it's like you dumbed us down. We are the caveman. Yeah, we've become the caveman. We didn't come from caveman. We are the caveman. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's why they try to tell us how stupid we were back then, and look how far we've progressed. Actually, we've degressed, unfortunately, or digressed, however you want to say it. We were so much more, even, 100, 200, 300 years ago. Mm-hmm. I mean, our planet's not even, this existence is not even that old, really. Mm-hmm. It's not at all. Mm-hmm. So... Interesting. Mm-hmm. I find the whole thing interesting. I mean, I don't agree with the negativity. Don't get me wrong. I don't like it any more than you do. Mm-mm. I find it interesting, but at the same time, we are source. We're creator beings. We can do anything we want. Mm-hmm. Really.
Yeah, we have no limitations. Our biggest limitations is ourselves.
Ourselves. Yep.
We are our biggest limitation. And of course, we have crap thrown at us all the time.
Yeah.
Because they want to keep you into a low, perpetual state. Which, if we had our abilities opened up wide, like we're going to, like I see humanity doing, not all the money in the world will mean anything to you when you can create
It'll be
everything.
worthless.
Absolutely worthless. That paper, that coin, that metal, what's the point? I can make anything out of the ether.
Yep.
Because everything is energy.
And actually, really, you can do that now. It's just if you're on that vibration. I mean, it's as simple as that. If you're
it's like
on
you
that
manifesting
vibration,
that stuff. Wendy manifested bread and money.
yeah, bread,
Gosh, she
money,
actually manifested cigarettes. Cigarettes of all things. Gotta have my stogie. Well, I think stogies are cigars, but still.
I've manifested a lot of things. I don't even know everything I've manifested.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to keep doing that. I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
wish
I need
everybody
to
could
open
do
up. I need to open up more manifesting skills because I would love to get to the point where I just manifest anything I need. I need something to eat. There it is. I need shelter. There it is. I need to bilocate to go someplace else with my full physical being instead of just mentally going. I'd like to take my full physical being with me. What do I need a plane or a train for, or a car for that fact? I'm there. This is what they don't want you to do. At that point, you don't need to be dependent upon anything or anyone.
And at that point, they don't own you like they think they do.
No.
Because they think they own everybody.
Yeah. If somebody came at me with something to harm me, I would manifest them naked. Harm me naked, bitch.
Oh
like
my
the police
God.
coming out naked.
That would be...
I might even manifest them on a little island. Cool off your heels there for a week or two.
Indecent exposure. You're
I would give them
molested.
food though. Think about the possibilities. Endless. Oh, you want to do something to me? You're on an island, babe. Cool your heels.
Funny.
Yes, I just thought about these things. Well, I hear such horror stories sometimes about the brutality of humanity on humanity, which a lot of it is AI.
Yes.
We don't know it.
Oh, you can talk about Mark Zuckerberg and all that if you want.
Oh, yes, good one.
Yes. I'm glad I remembered that.
Wendy and I were talking about Mark Zuckerberg, but I was initially talking about Mark Zuckerberg with Zanvest, which is Arthur. And Arthur's like, man, he's just not real. And I'm like, you don't even know how close you are to that. You're so right on. And he had taken a deal a while back with AI that if he took in the AI with him, that he would be the king of the world. And in so doing, even though he knew some of the consequences, he didn't know the full consequences though. Here's what happens. AI traps you inside of yourself. So he could be here screaming, no. But guess what? AI is in full control of your body. Mm-hmm. So it's a prison within a prison. And Mark Zuckerberg, you want to know what it looks like to be in AI's control? Everybody go look at Mark Zuckerberg and see how unemotional he is because he's trapped inside of here. He did the deal, and now he's paying the price. Oh, boy, is he paying the price. And he's going to be trapped in there. And when he dies, they already have it done. They're going to rip his soul out of his body because they have the equipment to do it, the technology, and they're going to throw him into another AI body. So he's not even going to be reprieved when he dies. No, he's in for a whole hell. Well, he signed up for it. And I don't feel sorry for him.
I do.
I don't feel sorry for him. You did this?
Yes.
That's what you get.
I know he did that, but nobody deserves to be in that type of state for the rest of their existence.
It's a hard lesson learned. And I hope none of you have to learn it. Yeah. But Mark Zuckerberg, that's what it's like to be AI. Go watch anything he's done and see how there's dead eyes there. There ain't nothing there. Because he's trapped inside. He's trapped inside.
He's not the only one.
No, he's not the only one. There are many
of them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of reptilians as well. They're the ones who started the whole process to begin with.
Well, they had the AI. They were not all reptilians.
Not all of them. They're not all bad, no. But there are the ones that are
the Draconians.
Yeah, the Draconians.
The Draconians at one point, let's go do a little history lesson. The Draconians at one point were a free species. AI came into their realm. And of course they had AI Mark Zuckerbergs, just like him, who wanted to be king of everything and rule everything, and they allowed the AI into them, and it took them over as a species. Their species split. Half of them went to AI, the other part of them remained the way they are. That's why not all reptilians, even in the draconian genre, is all AI. A lot of them are. There is a part that didn't do it. It's like what they're trying to do with humanity now. They're trying to make us AI
With the vaccines.
and everything.
Yes.
That's exactly what happened to the reptilians.
No.
And I don't want to go down the reptilians path. You know how they are. They're horrific.
No.
Not all of them. Let me say the ones that are AI infested. They are all Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg. There you go.
It's just horrible.
That's what happens to you when you get greedy and you think you're going to be the king of the world.
Yeah.
It always backfires. It's like the genie in the bottle. You know, like the gen, or whatever they're called, the gen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I did a video on the gen. I know I did.
Mm-hmm.
Where they offer you this and then you're screwed for eternity. Oh, yeah, I made those. You should try one. Those are carrot stick breadsticks, and I put raisins and carrots and
Mom, like I'm
pecans in there.
and over again. It's
Yeah.
not opening.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
they're delicious. I couldn't stop eating them. That's the last thing I need is start eating that stuff. I can't stop. I know, right? Mm-hmm. I can bake anyone under the table, and I'm a hell of a cook. I used to bake for my ex-husband's to be, he used to work for Chrysler because he's retired now. And every Friday they would have these meetings. And so I would bake for 300 people. And I did it for a long time. I learned how to bake. There's nothing I can't do. So, yeah. Those are fabulous, aren't they? Yeah, I actually created those. I'm like, I'm going to make something so delicious you can't put it down. And to my own detriment, I can't put it down. Be careful what you wish for. You just make it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. So, did you want to talk about anything? Wendy's leaving today, so I wanted to do this one video with her because I don't know when I'll see her again to do another video.
I can come back up after New Year's.
Okay.
Because Bill wanted to spend some time, so.
Okay, I guess this might be the end of our video, unless you want to talk about anything else.
I don't know.
Oh, everybody have a happy new year.
Bring your vibrations up. Stay positive.
Yeah, we're in the new playing field, so that's always a plus.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
So I guess we'll get going after this.
Yeah. I'm surprised we made it 42 minutes.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Everybody have a great holiday. That's coming up now.
Well, yeah.
Today. I think I'll try to get this uploaded today.
Okay.
So, okay.
That sounds good.
All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.